apparently, the Nigerian is less than a cow in the eye of the Nigerian state. Much less than a cow. When they ask where are the cows, maybe we should begin to look in government houses for the cows, because even if you hate us so much, shouldn't you worry that the country you are pretending to govern has been turned over to foreign invaders who are brought in for political purpose? How long do you think this cycle that you have energized is going to last before there is a blow up? Exactly how long do you reckon it's going to last? Everywhere you turn, people are being slaughtered. Truth is, I would like to say like cows, but the cows would appear to have primacy over human beings in the Nigeria that has been built under the watch of the APC.
Hello guys, welcome back again to my channel. So I come again with Dele Farotimi video where he was saying things and exposing the agendas of Fulanis in Nigeria, because we other Fulani Herdsmen, they have agenda in Nigeria, and this man came out to actually expose every single hidden truth about the herdsmen. Take a listen for yourself and then air your views in the comment section. I'll guys in my next video. If you're new here, you can subscribe and support again. Kids what? See you guys at this video.
Important thing is this. In this last week, Yorubas in Akure, same Akure, had occasion to troop out in their numbers to protest the insecurity occasioned again, the Fulani again, they said. Enugu people were crying out about being butchered on their farms. It would appear that almost everywhere across the length and breadth of Nigeria in the last week, it's been one killing after the other, all linked in one way or the other to the Fulani people. This has not just, it didn't start yesterday. It's something that's been ongoing, it's been happening for a while. Every time you hear of one ethnic cleansing, one mother or the other, the Fulanis are mentioned. So this last week, I've had my mind preoccupied with cows, the Fulanis, the obvious war of conquest and invasion going on, and the seeming complicity, not even seeming, the obvious complicity of the state that seems to continue to ask, where are the cows? Because nobody appears to be treating these as anything close to what it should be treated as. Because obviously Nigeria is a country under siege. So as I started thinking about these, I remembered the narratives offered by Kawu Baraje, the former national secretary, I believe, of the APC. This is reported in Business Day of the 2nd of August, 2022. Baraje was speaking at the occasion of his 70th birthday. And he said on record that in the lead up to the 2015 election, they, as the APC, imported Fulanis from Sierra Leone, from Mali, from Senegal, from Niger, and from Chad. He was very specific. He did not mention any other ethnic nationality. He spoke specifically of the Fulani. He said they imported Fulanis from Sierra Leone, Mali, Senegal, Niger, and Chad. I'm not sure if we had influxes from Equatorial Guinea or if the ones in other parts were equally invited, but it was specific. And in 2015, a rabid Fulani redentist and a Muslim fanatic was elected president of Nigeria. Baraje was very, very clear in also saying that the people they invited, they also harmed. Let me repeat myself. Go to the Business Day newspaper of August 2, 2022. I am quoting Kawu Baraje. He was part of the foundation of the APC. He was the factional chairman of the breakaway PDP that was part of the foundation of the APC. There are recorded confessions on TikTok, on YouTube, almost every social media platform. You'll find Fulani people telling you. There is one particular one I watched myself where the guy was like, look, AK-47, that they don't use it to shepherd their cows, that these were given to them. He was specific in saying that. He's on record. A friend shared a story with me, and I think he also posted these on social media. She rather, a farmer. And she recounted how she was farming somewhere in Oyo State, somewhere around Afigio. I went to school in Fiditi, which incidentally is my mother's village, for those idiots who are saying my mother is Igbo or this. Anyways, in Afigio, if you know Fiditi and his axis, you know that is on the road to Oyo, after it's between Oyo and Ibadan. So that's deep in the heartlands of Yoruba land. And this woman says that immediately after the harvest season, the Fulanis would come. These are Fulanis who have lived in the community for decades. They will come, graze their cattle. In grazing their cattle, the droppings from the cattle would help to fertilize the field. The hooves will break the soil, and it was a mutually beneficial relationship. And these Fulanis would help, and they would give them fura and wara, and people had a mutually beneficial relationship. And when the cows grazed on people's farm, there was also a key, easy way of fixing the problems. They will pay reparations. They had peaceful coexistence. And then this woman told me that after a point, the Fulani came, the leader of the local Fulani who would graze on her fields came to her to say, look, I'm leaving. There are some new Fulanis in the environment. I cannot coexist with them. And the man left with his family, somebody who had lived in the neighborhood well in excess of 20, 30 years. He left with his family. And not long after, there was this new influx of Fulani people who wouldn't even hear any language and were never ready to discuss peace. Every little infraction turned into fights, and these ones were acting more like conquerors than neighbors. She abandoned her farm. This story is over 10 years old. I used to farm, and I had farms in Ijebu. For those of you who are familiar with Ijebu, I had farms in Telubomi and Abude, just behind Akoje Farm Settlement. I had cocoa farms running into tens of acres. I was forced to abandon my farm over 10 years ago because of Fulani activities in the neighborhood. Over 10 years ago. The fact is that this has been an insidious conquest. It has happened with the complicity of the state. And because of the complicity of the state, a lot of us have been slow to admit to the fact that Nigeria is in the grip of an insurgency, ably supported by our government and the rulers of Nigeria. General Olawumi was on national TV, on channels, and he said on the record that since 2016, a list of sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria had been given to Buhari as the president. He said in that interview that the sponsors of terrorism included governors, persons in the cabinet of the president, Nothing ever happened to them. The UAE caught sponsors, financiers of terrorism in Nigeria, and they sent them to prison in the UAE. And then they sent a corresponding list of sponsors who are in Nigeria to the Nigerian government. Over 300. Nothing ever happened to them. But the same government is always quick to jail 17-year-olds on trumped-up charges. The same government, the same system is always available to persecute those who might make the error of asking to be citizens. My friend Dr. Calvin Stanley told me that almost on a daily basis, somebody is killed on the plateau. That 164 settlements on the plateau have been taken as conquered territory, resettled by Fulani marauders after the indigenous people have been driven off the land. A person told me how she gave up a mining license, or at least her interest in the mining license, when she found out that for her to be able to work the concession she was given, she would have had to be in bed with terrorists who are usually employed in the mining industry to drive out the indigenous people from the land holding the resources. And we still begin to ask, where are the cows? Dr. Calvin told me that there is a base for Fulani terrorists in the tri-state area, Benue, I think this is between Benue, Nasarawa and Plateau, somewhere around that place, that there is a base. That this, and he said it on national TV as well, by the way, that this base is known to all of our security agencies, that helicopters land there to drop off ammunitions and material, that the security forces are aware and they've done nothing about it. He is on record. He is on record, on public record, and we are still asking, where are the cows? In this last week, I came across the interview given by the old soldier, Brigadier Kogun. Brigadier Togun. He was on Edmond Obilo's show, and he was talking about his experience as the Amotekun Corps commander in Oyo State. General Togun spoke of the difficulties and challenges that were placed on his path by those who were determined to ensure that he did not succeed as the Corps commander. He spoke extensively, very extensively, about how he was prevented from recruiting certain classes of personnel, how he was frustrated and not given the material required. And then he spoke even more alarmingly of the multiple Fulani camps that are inside the forests of the Southwest. And then I remember Obadiah Malafia's word before he was murdered. He spoke extensively to pretty much the same thing. And then it now becomes important to ask ourselves some questions. Who are the cows? I believe that there are many cows in this sorry story. The victims have been treated as cows, or even worse, by those herding cows, slaughtered less reverently than they would have slaughtered cows. I see pictures coming out of Bokos I see multiple pictures coming out of the Middle Belt. I see the pictures coming out of Akure, coming out of Enugu, coming out from almost every part of this beleaguered land. Men and women, children, slaughtered less reverently than cows. So we, Nigerians, who have been denied citizenship are the ones who have now been reduced to cows. We're treated like cows, as if we don't matter, like our lives count for nothing. What is the value of the Nigerian life if 16 persons said to be hunters in Uromi caused national outrage, rightly so, but the gruesome murder on a daily basis of more people has been normalized as though they are not humans? A state exists. Its president is on a vacation in France, even though working vacation in France, but the president of France is visiting Egypt. Make it make sense to me, because I don't understand these things, but in the country that the person governs or pretends to govern, people are being slaughtered with nary a reaction, and we are still asking, who are the cows? Apparently, the Nigerian is less than a cow in the eye of the Nigerian state. Much less than a cow. When they ask where are the cows, maybe we should begin to look in government houses for the cows, because even if you hate us so much, shouldn't you worry that the country you are pretending to govern has been turned over to foreign invaders who are brought in for political purpose? How long do you think this cycle that you have energized is going to last before there is a blow up? Exactly how long do you reckon is going to last? Everywhere you turn, people are being slaughtered. Truth is, I would like to say like cows, but the cows would appear to have primacy over human beings in the Nigeria that has been built under the watch of the APC. There is nobody else to blame for this. This is on the table of the APC. This is not just about Tinubu. It's not just Tinubu. It's the APC. Everyone, and when I say APC, a lot of those who are responsible for this have left APC today. They've gone back to their PDP or they've gone to the SDP, like that short monkey from Kaduna. Where are they today? All over. So essentially, this has been done with the sanction of the political class. Nigeria is under attack. Let's be clear. Let us be clear. This is a state-sponsored war of conquest against the Nigerian people by foreign Fulanis brought into this country by the APC. That is the gospel truth, the stubborn truth, and the sooner we all wrap our brains around this and begin to demand that the APC and the government, whether you are APC, whether you are PDP, it doesn't even matter. If you are in a position where you are meant to be the protector of the people because you are functionaries of the state whose first duty is the protection of the people, it shouldn't matter where this threat is coming from, who brought it in. The reality is that Nigeria is in the grip of a war of conquest. The state is failing. It is failing horribly. At a time when the state is under attack by persons brought into the country by those who are governing the country today, the president is away on holiday. The director of the DSS is telling us that we are the ones who protect ourselves. Jackson, who fought back in self-defense because his life was in imminent threat, not just threat, he was already stabbed, overpowered his attacker and stabbed back. and our Supreme Court sentenced him to death. If that wasn't self-defense, what is? So, in a situation where the foreign invaders have been offered immunity and impunity, what is the lot of the Aborigines? Our forests are not they're not no man's land. Those are sacred forests. They belong to some people. They are lands belonging to people. When you brought foreign terrorists, people who had no land of their own, to come into our country, to come and take land, you become complicit in the multiple murders that have taken place in pursuit of their purpose. No wonder they were saying that we should ask our president what he agreed with them. Nigeria is under attack. There is no sugarcoating it. These are foreign Fulanis who are not aborigines to Nigeria, who sees Nigeria as their patrimony, and they have been brought into the country under the auspices of the APC and have been largely protected and supported by the same APC. Because how else do you explain where are the cows? Eventually, the cows were found because the killers of Antifunke just happened to be the Fulanis that the statement was meant to excuse. Where are the cows? The question should be, who are the cows? Who? Are we now cows, or are we being ruled by cows who fail to see what should be in their own enlightened selfish interest? I will live and I will die. Tinubu will live and he will die. All of us will live and someday we will go, but what we have done will live beyond us. How can it be that those who have the sacred duty to protect the people are the ones who have become the enemies of the people, sponsoring all kind of terror against the people? And we are always asking, where are the cows? Let the government tell us if we have become as cows, or if they are the cows who are failing to see that they are failing in their duties. But when you are asking who the cows are, or where the cows are, also ask yourself, where is your brain in this imagined scenario? Are you able to see what is obvious, or you are still denying the obvious because of your ethno-religious or partisan interest? The truth is the truth, regardless of who believes or do not believe it. But the truth does not cure the willfully ignorant. I hope I have spoken to people who still have the capacity to think on their own and to draw inferences, logical inferences from the truthful facts that are in front of them. I've said my own. I have said my own. You say your own. Just as I promised, we have the final draft of the Electoral Reform Bill. It will go out tomorrow morning so that we get your comments and your inputs. I know that it is easy to say that nothing will change. The House of Reps will not do anything. The Senate will not do anything. Yeah. I actually don't expect them to do anything about it, but I expect you to do something about it. If we are truly in a democracy, if this is truly a democracy, we start finding out, don't you think? How else do you find out but by trying to see if your will as a collective will prevail? We will submit the bill when we are all done having a chance to take a look. And when we have submitted that bill, we would await their response based on the clearly submitted timeline. And if we don't get it, we would organize to confront. Let me be very clear. Nobody serves you freedom a la carte. Just like this. Grabbed it, snatched it, grabbed it, and ran with it. That is how you take power. And when you are looking for your freedom, you must be prepared for sacrifices. We will circulate the bill. We'll go through the bill by ourselves. When we're satisfied that we have what we need, we'll take it before them. Let them say no. then we will say yes, and then we'll see whose voice is higher than the other. Gentlemen, my people will say, Aboro, and so from Oluabi, half a word is enough for the wise. But there is also another proverb that is very succinct and speaks to our situation. Ogwa, we tell you, okay, paro. The cripple who is forewarned cannot be killed in a war. You have been forewarned. You have the luxury, especially those of us in the Southwest, in the South generally, we have the luxury of being forewarned. Those on the front lines, people of Bokos, whose land on the plateau are being daily resettled in what is apparently and clearly an ethnic cleansing. They are the ones on the front line. They don't have the luxury of warnings. We, having been warned, have the duty not only to prepare, but to speak up. And inability to speak to your condition imperils you. Speak. Stop allowing your tongue to cleave to the roof of your mouth on account of ethnicity or religion or partisanship. Open your eyes. Look. Open your eyes. There is a conquest going on. And those who should be defending us are complicit in selling us.
Distinguished senators, I can see a lot of them there, from Victume to my brother, and of course, Moye, National House of Assembly members. I must come to apologize to you people sincerely because I didn't like the way you were standing. But I take our apologies personally and on behalf of all of us. Other House of Assembly members, Mr. Speaker, you know, I'm sure that we have a voice vote here. NLC and TUC leaders, other stakeholders, because I can see all major stakeholders. I think everybody has spoken. What we did, and when Governor Oti spoke, I believe he spoke for both of us, in the sense that we discussed at length, consulted at length, and Governor Oti agreed to take this issue on with Abure. And I was surprised when I saw, when we met and he told me his reply, and when I started reading certain things about his private meeting and conversation in national newspaper, I was shocked. Sorry, it's not on a mission. I was shocked. But if you know me very well, I usually operate from point of weakness. It is better that people say you're weak, because it allows me to exhaust reason. You must exhaust reason before you fight, before you ask anything. So we went to court, and I'm sure you know I've followed court in this country deliciously. I'm the first governor to come through court, to come back from impeachment, and to change the electoral calendar in this country. Forever. So I believe in court process. And I share what my brother that said. In this case, the court has taken the rightful position. They've done the right thing. It is for all of us to go out. We are not saying we've won. Labour Party won. The future of Labour Party. Is there any party that would have been a party of choice today in this country, even not for the delay and going through that process, it would have been Labour Party. But I assure you, it will be a party of tomorrow. and people said, oh, he has left Labour Party. Some of us are on our way out. Some of us are on our way this. Let me assure you, we are Labour Party members. I have never discussed with any other party. We are going to discuss with anybody who discuss it jointly from our house as Labour Party. No party will tell you that they've seen me discussing with them. And like I always say, Governor, who would sit down and discuss. Everybody, leadership, stakeholders will say, we want to be part of this. It is not P2B's choice. It is choice of everybody. We must move and do everything we are doing as a family because we're choosing to be family. And this family does not exclude anybody. As Governor has said, let's do the right thing. Let's go and do from ward to local government to state to zone. Come and do it nationally. Everybody is free to contest. Everybody is free to. By the time the caretaker comes out with whatever they want, everybody is free. Nobody is excluded. And we'll ensure fairness. We want to build a party that will be fair, a party that will be just, a party that people can look at and say, this is how this party is. We want to go into the next election knowing fully well that we're offering Nigerians the best of people and competent people for House of Assembly, for House of Rep, for Senate, for Governor, for any level of election. So we want to be ready. We want to correct even mistakes we made in the past. Because they were mistakes. So we need to correct it. We are going to be sure that whoever wants to contest House of Assembly now will be a Labour member. Not on transit, not passing by. We want to be sure that those who go to House of Rep are not passing by. They are members of our party. And they are competent. And they will stand with the party. Because we want to be a party of ideology. Not party where you just elect people and they become whatever goes on. And I thank those who stood, especially my brother there at the time, even if you were a lone voice, be alone.
Thank you, sir.
We must have senators who agree with us. That is what we want. Even if we go and fail, we'll fail. But it is better to fail being right than be on the side of wrong. That is what we want. And we're going to do that for Nigeria. Do not fear anybody. Those who feared yesterday have not done it better. We must speak when things are wrong. Nigeria is collapsing. Anybody can say anything. The numbers are clear. The indices are clear. Very clear. More and more people are poorer. If you want, go to your village. The people who are begging now are no longer, there are even people who are that are no longer people who used to feed and are begging. Even in this hotel, every time I enter this hotel now, I see people who are telling me, Oga, I just came to Abuja, I can't go back. In this hotel. So that shows you, these are where I used to come here. People say, Oga, will you drink? Come and eat, come and do this. Nobody's offering me anything now. They're asking me to bring something. That shows how bad it is. When you now see somebody with that, but I'm telling you, I can't go back. You see, they don't enter anybody. So let us know that things are difficult, things are bad. It is time for all of us to come together. I thank those of you who are doing very well, and let us stand together and ensure that the right things Starting from our party, I done. So chair and leaders, I must thank all of you. Thank our performing governor. Yes, thank all those who are here for their contribution, for their support and everything. I know that Dottie came back east, some of the senators, Ogene and Co. and everything. I heard you've been removed as caucus leader. I said I didn't see your replacement here. So I think we have our own minority chief whip and everything. So we thank everybody. Let us remain firm as a family. We have a lot of work to do. Let's go and face that work and do it justly. Loving each other. If there's anybody who has shown us hatred, let's show them love. We can't reply with this thing. So we must extend love to everybody. We must be part of everything that is happening. We must remember that families do disagree and reconcile and move on as a family. So let us call whatever have happened the past. Let's march on the future, assuring that we will get to where we're going. Labour Party, Labour Party. That is where we're going to go. Thank you and God bless us.
You can, like I said earlier, you can never get tired of listening to Dele Farotimi. You can never get tired of listening to that man. That man is a man of wisdom. He's the man that always comes up with saying the hard truth, no matter who likes it or not. This is a man that always stands for the truth and will always continue to say the truth. Imagine exposing every single hidden agenda of herdsmen. This same man have exposed our judicial corruption system, where he exposed Afe Babalola, yes, in a book he wrote, Nigeria and its justice, corruption, or something, one book like that they don't want to arrest him, but still they have to release him because this man is a man of truth and honor. He comes out and says the things as it is. Like I said, you can never hate Dele Farotimi. You can never. If you hate him, that means you have your own personal problem with him, because this man does not fear anybody. He does not side anybody. He always comes for the truth. If you do wrong, he will call you out. If you do good, he will praise you. So that video, he exposed all the agendas of the Fulanis, which we heard this. But let's get your own views in the comment section. If you're new here to my channel, you can subscribe. It's your boy again. Please watch. Stay tuned, guys, in my next video.